study session. Councillor Green.
Thank you, Madam President. Item 8 is the local law for the firefighters agreement. Unless there's any questions, that item's ready.
Thank you. I have item 9, and I am going to call that item ready. Councillor Green.
Thank you, Madam President. Item 10 is a companion item for the firefighters agreement. Item 11 is the funds for the Syracuse Festivals Fund. I'll open it up for any councilors with any questions or anything to talk about on that one.
Thank you, Councilor Green. I have, that's on the bottom of our agenda packet. I have an amendment that I'll offer at our voting session to amend this item. And we talked about it extensively in the last study session, but I'll entertain any questions from any councilors regarding it. Hearing none, it's ready to go. So if the President Hudson just gives me a little time during the discussion phase to introduce it, I'll appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, Councilor. Item 12 is a correction of tax rolls, and that item's ready as well. So thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Councillor Paniagua.
Good afternoon, everybody. I have item 13, and if there's no further questions, the item is ready.
Thank you. Councillor Schultz.
Thank you, Madam President. Good afternoon, everybody. I have prepared item number 14, and I believe it's ready unless there's questions.
Thank you. Councillor Hogan.
Thank you, President Hudson. I have items 15, and that is ready to be introduced. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Majuk.
Thank you, Madam President. I have items 16 to 18. I have just a follow-up question for Chief Cecil. Did we ever look into item 16 as to city resident that may have the skill set to maybe do this?
Yeah, so councilors, so the question is, did we ask city residents if they could come up with this curriculum for the jiu-jitsu? Is that the question?
Yes. Did we check to other martial artists and karate folks that are in the city that could potentially do this? Is there such a population here? Have we looked into it?
Yeah, so the answer to the question is no, we did not this time around, but as we mentioned last time at the other study session, we certainly would look into that moving forward, talk with Ben Tellini and some of the instructors and see if we can incorporate folks from the city to assist in this, but we did not do it, and we kind of want to move forward with this because this academy, this new academy will start in February this month, at the end of this month, and we want to incorporate this training, 6-month training, into that academy. So, but we can certainly look to try to incorporate city residents as we move forward on this, perhaps next time around.
And based on the legislation, this is a 1-year contract, correct?
It is correct.
Okay. Okay. All right. Other questions?
I can Councilor Majuk, if you don't mind, just to talk about this particular item for 16. I myself studies jiu-jitsu, and I have to go out to either Liverpool or Bostonville to practice my studies. There are many other individuals who are in the city of Syracuse that teach karate, kung fu, Muay Thai, and Aikido. But as far as the BJJ goes, there are none in the city that I know of. Just to help you out with that thought process there. But you know, I go to Tai Chi, and I go other places. So that's just my little half on that.
Thank you, Councilor. Other questions, comments?
I'd like to make a comment. As a former medical researcher, I really value data-driven and evidence. So I think it's great that you're teaming up with Syracuse University and bringing their expertise into this. So I'm all for that and looking forward to the results.
Okay. Thank you, Counselor. Other questions? Okay, the rest of the item are ready, Madam President, unless if other councilors have questions, that will be all for me.
Thank you. Counselor Allen.
Madam President, I have item 19. This was for City as Canvas program through TNT. A very lengthy discussion on this last week. The item will be ready.
I just want to make one more comment. I'm concerned about the timeline being so short. I believe the council voted last year to approve the city art mural in front of City Hall. And I understand that's probably not apples to apples because there's some other landscaping pieces and planters that are involved in that project. But the fact that that hasn't started yet, I don't know the particulars. Neil is on this call, so maybe he could chime in if that's necessary. But I was wondering if we might consider breaking this ask up from 250 for 1 year and maybe making it a 2-year project, making year one 125, and then see how that goes. And then next year approving 125 again, for your consideration. Thanks.
Is Neil on the call? Or anyone that can speak?
Counselor,
Oh, go
so
ahead.
this is Kate Atwater, I'm the public art coordinator. Just as long as everyone can hear me. My understanding is that the City's Canvas program is actually spread out over a 2-year period, as it is, and that looking at the schedule, they were planning on doing, breaking up the funding into, by the sectors, doing one group in the first year and the second group in the second year. So they were not going to be looking to do all 8 murals in 1 year, which I would absolutely agree would be very aggressive unless you already had everybody lined up. So, and we can speak later about the asphalt art project, which is moving along and should be done by the end of this by the end of the summer.
Hey, locations haven't been identified yet on this, have they?
No.
No locations, so we don't have no locations, no concepts, no artists picked, correct? Obviously, because they haven't applied for anything.
Correct. Yeah, a lot of the goal here, Councilor Hogan, I don't know if Tina or Jimmy or someone else is on, but as it was explained to me, a lot of the goal here is to really have this be a robust process that's vetted through the TNT organization. So having a lot of community input on which locations are chosen, whether we go with one big mural per district or multiple smaller murals per district, is going to be decided by the community attendance at TNT, and which artists are chosen, which designs are chosen. They're really trying to roll the city's canvas out as a community engagement process and project that really has a robust community component, from what I understand. So the sites would not have been predetermined, the artists would not have been predetermined. All of that will be decided by TNT and the community as we go along. If I have that right, Kate, I think, yes?
Yeah, that's correct. I'm sorry, I forgot that I had my earbuds in because anyway, I had a little technical difficulty there, so I apologize. Yes, no, you are correct that the TNT, the community engagement piece is really robust for this, and it will be the community that will be helping to select sites as well as the artistic content of the murals.
I think we should all get earbuds like Councilor Driscoll has.
Quick question.
I gotta flex my hip hop style. Hope.
Quick question about the detail on the dates. On page 9 of the proposal that Jimmy Monto submitted weeks ago, It says that November, December 2021 is the call for locations, and then work begins summer of 22. So I don't see, and if somebody can help me out in finding it, that it goes through 2023. What am I missing?
The proposal, actually, the calendar that I'm referring to is the calendar that was pulled together for as part of the internal vetting of the proposal, the project sheet that for all each of the ARPA projects has a project sheet that includes a schedule. And this was part of the schedule was to, the schedule as described, thoroughly in that project description was a 2-year project.
So should we get that updated in here so that way we'll know that they have up for 2 years? So can you guys make those changes by Monday?
Oh, absolutely, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, Counselor, we'll get the dates. We fully expect we're gonna need 2 good weather seasons for these projects. So we'll make sure those dates are accurate.
Okay. And then how are you guys going to decide which sector gets to go first or whatever? Is it going to be up to the artists in those particular areas? Like, how will you guys decide?
Jimmy, you want to take that one?
Sure. So I think it depends. And hi, everybody. I was having trouble getting logged in. So I think it depends on where the artists, when we put the call out for artists, and that's going to be a very public call for artists and locations, it's going to depend on where the locations start to pour in from, where the artists start to pour in from. We do have 2 spots that are already approved locations. They've been approved previously by the Arts Commission, and the owners of the buildings are okay with them. We haven't had designs proposed for them or anything. We're not that far along. And obviously the timeline has kind of been a moving target because as we need to make sure the money is out there before we get a solid timeline in place. But the baseline is there. So right now we have the side of the Delavan Art Gallery with a sizable donation from the Delavan Art Gallery to add on to the money that we'll be using from the ARPA funds to go towards a pretty sizable educational piece there. We have another place on the north side. I could get that address in a moment if I looked. That is also an approved location. We do not have an artist for either of them yet. So.
And Jimmy, who would eventually decide who gets what? Is it the TNT board or?
No, it's the actual sector meetings, Councilor Majoke. So the people that are in the outreach that we do to the community will decide what they like best. And then of course the Arts Commission will approve the artwork that goes there as well. So there's 2 layers of approval there. The most important being the community, obviously, they live there. But the Arts Commission also is very careful and cautious as to what we would, paint on a wall. It would be reasonable art, obviously.
Thank you.
Jimmy, but those TNT sectors didn't vote specifically on this program, correct? The TNT board voted on it.
Well, yeah, the TNT board is always the one that is out seeking grants. I mean, the sectors themselves do not write grants. They don't have it's not how the organization is kind of structured. So yes, it was us. It was the board that writes the grants that we've received from any organization. We receive grants. The board is the one that does that.
Okay. Further questions? So we'll wait for the updates to this for Monday. Hopefully you guys can get it to us by Friday.
We're working on it right now, Counselor.
Okay. All right. So this will be, I'll mark it ready with a question mark. That's all that I had.
Thank you.
Down.
Thank you. Councilor Driscoll.
Thank you, Madam President. I have items 20 through 30. Due to the request of my fellow councilors, I'll be holding items 22 and 23. The rest of the items I will call ready, and yeah, unless my fellow councilors have any questions.
Thank you. Counselor Green.
Thank you, Madam President. I have a waiver item number 31, and it's an appointment to the Board of Assessment Review. Yeah, that's right.
Thank you. And with that, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All righty, see you back at 1.